Alright, we're back with another art tutorial. A few videos ago we already did a tutorial on basic sketching. We'll put a link in the description. And so this time we're going to do one on advanced sketching. Now, don't let the name fool you, this is not very hard. It's just a sketch, you know, whatever. So, I already did a basic sketch off camera before we experienced all the technical difficulties in setting up the camera. And, as you can see, you know, you can basically tell what it is. You know, this is the head, the chest, the hips, and all the legs and the tail. I'm going to be drawing an animal of some kind. It looks like a cat so far. I don't know, I just threw together something. So basically, well, I've seen, when I first started drawing, originally when I did a sketch, I would do a bunch of tiny little lines like this. You know, I'm not sure if the camera picked that up, but a bunch of tiny little lines really quickly to try and get it, because I couldn't do one full smooth line. You do not want to do that. It is, of course, okay to use multiple lines since it's just a sketch. You know, this isn't going to be the main, you know, part of the drawing that everybody's going to see, so it doesn't have to be smooth and it doesn't have to be perfect. But I do not recommend using the short little lines because you're going to mess up at some point and the line is going to be angled incorrectly or it's going to have the wrong curve or something. So I recommend using longer lines like that, and if you mess up then you can just do a bunch over it. You know, like longer lines. And that'll also help because as you go along the lines can get longer and longer until at some point eventually you don't even need to go super sketchy and messy and you can just do it on the first try. You know, that's going to take quite a bit of practice, but you will reach it eventually. So what I usually do is I start with the muzzle, but it differs between artists. You can start wherever you want. And I just go to the top of the nose and then a little bit of a curve, a little bit of a point, but not like sharp, but not super round either. And then I just come right back down to the chin and then come up and do the jaw. You saw in the way I was using the multiple strokes. It looks clean. It probably looks pretty clean on the camera since it's, you know, however far back it is. But it's not super clean, like I said, because it's just a sketch. You know, this isn't going to be the main part that everybody sees. So it's low priority, not number one importance in being, you know, clean and fancy, you know. So and when I do the sketch, since I usually do digital art and painting specifically, lineless, I believe is an actual term, where the finishing product doesn't have any black outlines, but it's still not realism. I like to classify it somewhere in the middle. So in the sketch, nobody's going to see the sketch or line art based on the sketch. So I will usually put lines where the edges of something are, usually in the muzzle, like that. This is a little bit wrong, so gotta erase and fix it. So when I finish the sketch and I get started on painting, I have these edge lines here, so I know where, you know, where the edge of it is, and I can see easily where to put the shading. This is a little bit off, but you know, it really helps anyway. So, and then you can just continue with the sketch. And usually what I do when I finish with the outline of the head is I move on to other parts of the body. I don't go into too much detail and waste all the time on the face, because what if I get finished with the entire sketch and then realize I don't like it and I have to scrap it and restart. I don't want to have wasted time on trying to do details in the face or in other parts of the body, because obviously that's a waste of time. So I will usually wait until I'm done with all of the outlining and general basic sketching until I come in and do the details. There you go. I finished the basic outline of the sketch. And of course, I've said this in many art tutorials before, and I will say it again in this one. An artist is their own worst critic. So you're looking at this and probably thinking it's great. And I'm looking at this and thinking, oh, the body's too short, the tail goes up here, and that looks bad. The tail thickness is inconsistent, the back legs are higher up than the front legs, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm seeing all these problems. And again, I've said this in previous art tutorials and I'll say it again in this one. It may be annoying, but it's really good that artists have that sense, because we know what went wrong, and so we know how we can improve and fix it until eventually, over fixing our own mistakes that we can see easily, we become good artists, you know. So this is just the way I do sketching. Yet again, I've said this in previous art tutorials, the best way for you to learn is to do it yourself, experiment, and figure out your style. And of course now I would put in details in the face. I did a facial expressions tutorial, that link will also be in the description. And I don't think there are very many other details I usually put in here. Maybe toes instead of just nubs. But that's about it. That's really all I have to offer you. So thank you for watching. See you next time.